Hi, today I want to walk you through a book called The Daily Stoic, 366 reflections on wisdom, discipline, and how to actually live your life. I'll share 11 key takeaways. But first, honestly, is the book worth reading? Yes, it is. It won't hand you universal answers. That's not the point. What it does is gently introduce you to how Stoic thinking works, without overwhelming you with dense original texts where it's easy to get lost. The format is simple, a quote followed by a clear explanation. Think of it as Stoicism, but without unnecessary complexity. I liked it because the ideas are practical, but don't expect philosophy to fix your life for you. It won't. It just helps you think better. Alright, let's get into it. First, Stoicism stands on 3 pillars: how we perceive the world, how we act, and how we deal with things we can't change. It's about seeing reality clearly, making conscious choices, and building inner resilience. In simple terms, how you look at things, what you do, and how well you hold up. Second, the core skill is learning to separate what's in your control and what isn't. Everything external is outside your control. Everything internal is your responsibility. Take global events, you can't control them, but you do choose your reaction, panic, anger, or calm, and that choice is where your power is. Third, you need a clear goal. Without it, your actions become scattered. Stoics don't promise that visualizing success will magically get you there, but if you don't know where you're going, you're definitely not getting anywhere. A goal works like a filter. It helps you decide what deserves a yes and what doesn't. Fourth, back to control. Your thoughts, your desires, your reactions, those are yours. Everything else isn't. Now, I'll be honest, there's a debatable point here. For example, the body is often listed as something outside our control. I'd put it differently. We don't control everything, but we definitely have influence. Ignoring that feels like a strange strategy. Fifth, calm comes from inner clarity. When you have your own principles, you stop wavering so much. This isn't about being stubborn. It's about having a foundation. Confidence isn't "I'm always right." It's "I know where I'm going." And yes, that means you actually have to choose your values, not just borrow them from random quotes online. Sixth, it's not events that hurt us, it's how we interpret them. The same comment can completely break one person and barely touch another. The difference is self-understanding. Stoics remind us there's always a pause between what happens and how you react, and in that pause, there's a choice. Seventh, we only have the present moment, not the past, not the future, and yet we almost never live in it. We're either scrolling while we eat, or replaying yesterday, or worrying about tomorrow. Meanwhile, the moment just slips by. At that point, it's really a question of attention. Eighth, question your thoughts. Any anxiety is just a thought, not a fact. Start by asking, is this even within my control? If not, let it go. That's not ignoring problems, it's filtering. Not every thought deserves your time or energy. Ninth, rational thinking comes down to 3 things: looking inward, being honest with yourself, and making decisions without copying someone else's template. The hardest part is the second one. We don't like seeing the truth about ourselves. It's much easier to say, "That's just how I am," than to admit you simply don't want to work on it. 10th, any obstacle can be used. A delay becomes patience training. A mistake becomes a lesson. A loss becomes a reset. This isn't toxic positivity. It's a practical mindset. Even stress in a way, is a choice. Just like choosing not to do things that actually help, like meditation. Funny how we always find time to worry though. 11th, let's talk about mornings and discipline. Even Marcus Aurelius had to convince himself to get out of bed. So nothing new there, we're all the same. The real difference is whether you have a reason to get up. If you don't, you hit snooze. If you do, you get up. I see this in my own life all the time. When the goal is just get through the day, getting up is hard. When there's a clear purpose, it's much easier. It doesn't have to be something huge. It just has to be yours, not something that sounds impressive to other people. And here's an important point. You don't need to try to become great. That idea is honestly a bit overheated. What's far more useful is figuring out what genuinely interests you and developing that. Everyone has their own scale, and that's enough. So if I had to sum it up, Stoicism isn't about being cold or detached. It's about clarity, choice, and inner stability. And yes, it sounds simpler than it is in practice, but that's the whole point. It's not theory, it's practice.